Hey everybody, my next guest is a good old buddy of mine and my co-host of Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up and Don and Benny versus the World. It's the one and only Gagoots himself, Benny Rizzuti. Benny, how's it going, man?
Good. How you doing, buddy? How are you?
Doing great, man. Doing great. I'm so glad to see you back in action. I gotta say, last weekend you performed. It was your first time getting back up on stage in a while.
In like a
Um,
year and a half. Yeah.
yeah, it was for Jen Snortland, your co-host now of the Gagoot Show. She had a fundraiser event to fundraise money for autism and in a school, an autistic school, and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
it was very great event. I had a blast. All the comics brought it. And everybody killed. Everybody was great. A great audience. And you came out and crushed it, dude.
Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot. It was
How's
the audience was on fire as far as I'm concerned. It was a great audience. It was one of those things where whatever I said could get a laugh, you
dude?
know?
You were just so
And
natural up there, and you were at your best when you were just kind of being yourself, telling stories, or just kind of figuring things out. It was that when you were at your absolute best, and yeah, man, it was just so great to see you back in
thank
action.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I had a lot of fun. I like to tell stories, and there is a story I want to tell you now.
Yes, this is
Okay.
the main reason why we got together here is because you started off 2023 with a bang, man. You
With
like it
a
was January 1st, right? This is literally New Year's Day.
January 1st, January 1st, 2023.
And what happened? Tell
Okay.
everybody exactly what you went through.
My family, like most families, we love the movies. There were some people they're not great. We love the movies. Our tradition is every year, usually New Year's Eve, we go to a theater and we see a movie. But the movie we picked this year was Avatar, Way of Water.
Right,
And
yeah.
it's like a 3 hour and 15-minute movie. It's a
And
very long
and it's
movie.
you, Nancy, your wife, and your son Ryan, the three
And
of
my
you,
son,
that your whole family went to go to see Avatar. Okay, it's a long
we
movie.
went to see Avatar. Yeah, long movie. We decided instead of New Year's Eve because it's a 3 hour movie, and we went to a restaurant New Year's Eve. We were like, we'll go on New Year's Day, and we'll go early. We went to like a 4 o'clock show. So yeah, four. It was going to end around. I was going to get out around 7:30. So and nowadays you pick your seats ahead of time. You're all set to go. You don't know who's going to be sitting next to you, if anybody, right? So we go to see the movie. There's 15, 20 minutes of trailers. Then there's a little trailer that tells you about snacks and get your snacks. And then the big one is shut off your cell phone and don't be rude, don't be disrespectful, don't ruin the movie for everybody else.
Right,
And
yes.
that was right there. That was, and then
And that's a big one. That's important. It's important because
very important.
you would think most people would already know this, but it's also good that they reiterate it at the theater. They tell you straight out in the theater, "Hey, silence your cell phones, no talking. The movie's about to begin."
Right. And don't ruin this one actually said, don't ruin the movie for everybody else. And I'm telling you. So I won't mention the name of the theater or anything, but I will tell you that the theater served alcohol. Nowadays, everything's so this theater has a bar in the theater.
Well, yeah.
So, and from knowing me, you know that I attract people, I attract situations. So 15 minutes of a trailer. So let's say 20 minutes of trailers. Now the movie begins. And everyone's quiet. The whole audience, we're all into it. And about
You have your 3D
15 minutes
glasses
of
on.
3D glass was in 3D. I had my 3D glasses over my other glasses, and I
Right.
was into it. And I liked Avatar. I like science fiction, and you can argue with it, but to me, it's a really good science fiction, and it's like an allegory of you know, of our life. It's like irony. It's very ironic that we're going to another planet and we're destroying the hell out of this planet for resources.
Right. That's
For
right.
resource and we're destroying the indigenous life forms there and the indigenous species that runs the planet, which are, it's not humans. It's these very tall. They're like 9 foot tall
Yeah,
blue
these
people,
big blue aliens. But yeah,
and then there
it's
are
a metaphor for
big
how, yeah.
green. Yeah, it's a metaphor for us and how we're really not greatest people in the world. So 15 minutes into it, I'm really into this movie, and there's a lot. It's a great sequel because characters you thought were gone in the from the first movie, some of them come back. So I'm really into it. I'm into this movie. Yeah, I like it. We sit all the way in the back with a wall to us. That's where we like to sit in the
Oh, so
middle.
you're in the back
So
row, right
in
in
the
the end.
back row up. So
Right.
we're up back row.
And
The
you probably
wall is to the
thought that
back
was a
of us.
smart decision because no one behind you is going to kick your seat. You probably figure this is the most private as it's going to get. I'm all the way in the back. There's nobody going to bother me.
Nobody's going to bother me, but as I previously mentioned, I am Benny Rizzuti, so situation's fine.
So
So
even all the way in the back.
even all the way in the back, and Nancy and Ryan are to my left, and I've got empty seats to my right. And all of a sudden, this noisy couple come up, and they come up the side steps, and they are going to sit one seat away from me. All right, to my
Now, what
right,
was your
one seat.
initial thought when you're sitting there, you're watching the movie, and this couple shows up, and
Late.
they sit and they're late. Now, are you automatically going, "Oh, great," or are you just like,
Uh,
"Oh, okay, come on, sit down, join the
part of
party"?
me is no. Part of me is like, well, you came into a cool movie, so you're gonna make a little noise for a minute, and then you'll be quiet. I've had people who stood up as the movie was starting in other movies, and we're
Right.
like, "Could you please get down?" And sometimes they're
Yeah.
a little surly, and you're like, "The movie's gonna start." Well,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
courtesy. One of the big things with it going to the movie theater is meant for a big group of people, so we can all experience it together. We can
Exactly.
all give our oohs and ahs and screams and laughs together, and it's a great
And
feeling.
feed off of the energy and feed off of
Yeah,
the
you feed
moment.
off each
Yes.
other's energy. That's what. So I'm like, all right, they're gonna settle down. They didn't settle down. They were on their phone. They were doing stuff on the phone. And then they were
Well,
talking. Then they were making phone calls. So
they were like
then
making phone call, like talking, like, "Hey, what's
like
up, Johnny? I'm at the
yeah, yeah,
movies."
yeah, yeah, kind of like that. And then it was a male and female couple. Then the man goes away, and I did find this out. He went to the bar. So he went to the bar, and he came back with a whole bunch of food. But he called her, and she's talking. So Nancy's like, "Get off the phone," because this is an intense movie. We're going
Yeah.
to So Nancy's like, "Get off the phone." So then later on, he came back. Then they went out again. Then they came back with so they got food. Then they got drinks, and now we're a half hour into the movie.
And
So we're a
it's a
half hour
three.
into it.
They have three
He
more hours to go.
Right, and he had actually called her, and she was talking, and that was when I think Nancy said, "Could you get off the phone?" Then Ryan was like, "Could you please get off the phone?" So then they stopped for a while, and then it started going on, and I'm trying to watch a movie, and every time he's like on social media or something, so the glare is coming over to my right. The glare is coming
Oh, so
over
you're getting
to
distracted
me.
by the light
So,
of his
but I'm
phone.
feeling, yeah, I'm distracted and I'm missing so much. A lot is going on. I really like the movie, but I'm missing what they're saying. I'm missing some great
And
details,
that slow burn is
Yeah,
starting to
yeah, it was
happen.
slow burn with me, and
Now, yeah, I've
I'm
been
feeling
there.
like I'm a wimp because my wife and son already said something, and I'm the
Right,
guy that kept his mouth shut, and I
right,
didn't say
right.
anything. And then I know on the ride home, I would hear, "Why didn't you say something, Dad? Why didn't you do something?" But Dad is always, if I do something, then it could be, "Why did you do?
Right. You're
Why
damned
didn't
if
you
you
just
do.
move?" Yeah.
Yeah, you're
So
always in the catch 22.
so
Yeah.
yeah, so we're getting into a really good part now, and like I said, they're still noisy with each other. And now he's got his phone in front of him. Where I have to be honest and tell you, I got a little nasty, and I turned my phone on, and I had it like this, so the light was going near him. Okay, I had it like that, and then I saw that wasn't going to do any good
He probably
anyway.
thought you were filming him. He probably thought you were filming him.
Yeah, I wasn't though. I was just I wanted him to step, but now 2 hours into it, my fuse is down,
So for
down
two
to the end.
hours, for 2 hours straight, these people never stopped. They just
They never
constantly.
stopped. They were doing something. They were going downstairs, coming back up. They were,
Holy.
and I'm talking about they had to be in their late 30s, early 40s, I would say. I
And
think so. They're not kids.
this is an expensive ticket for a movie because you're going to a 3D movie. It's got to be
Yeah,
like what, $25 a pop or something like
it was
that.
something like that. Yeah, it was like $20 a pop or so.
Yeah. So
Like you said, with the with the 3D.
yeah, and then they're buying all this food, so they're putting, they're putting their money in, and don't they want to watch the movie as well? I mean,
Why go to a movie?
why
Why
just hang
go
out at
when
the bar? They should have just hung out
I've
at the bar.
yeah, I've gone to concerts where there's people talking business behind me, and I'm like, what, are we on Wall Street or is Dweezil Zapper on stage?
Right?
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I saw Dweezil Zapper, and these two guys are talking Wall Street behind me. I'm like, wait, you got time? Wait, what
So
are you afraid? If you don't talk business while you're interrupting everybody, if you don't talk, you might drop dead. And this guy won't know how much you invested in pork rinds that day. So,
So, all
so,
right. So you're at the theater.
so now
You
two
showed him
hours.
the phone to him. He then got the message and put his phone down. Right.
No, he was still doing it. So I put my phone down. He was still doing it. So I turned to him, and now you got to understand. 2 hours into it, and it's some big action's going to happen. We know what's going. Some big. We're past the point of no return with this movie. But
Right.
now
Yeah.
I've missed so much. I've lost so much, and now he's started. The couple, both of them, were aggravating me so much. But I felt, all right, I got to talk man to man to him. So I turned to him and I said, "Why would you come in late to a 3 hour movie if you're just going to be on your phone and be annoying to everybody?" So that's what I said. It was not the right thing. I probably should have said, "Sir, could you please, your phone is annoying me now. Enough. Could you?" That's what I should have said. But I said, "Why would you come to a movie theater and stay, late? You came in late, you're on your phone, and you're being annoying. You're annoying." So he looks at me and he says, "Who are you talking to?" So I said, "I'm talking to you." And now this is the point of the story where I should mention that the couple were African American. They were
Right.
a black
Okay.
couple.
Okay.
I didn't care. I still to this day I do not care about that.
Yeah. You
I
just
don't
wanted to watch
care
the
your
movie. It didn't
nationality.
matter what color they were. You just wanted quiet.
No, like we said,
Yeah.
you're in a movie.
Right.
Everybody together. We're one. We're
No,
all
and
one. It
and
doesn't matter. You
there's
laugh.
certain there's certain
Yeah,
situations where it look, if you're in a movie theater, you want to watch the movie, somebody's making noise, doesn't matter what color, what race, what sex those people are, what genre, what they identify as. That none of that matters. What
no,
only matters is they're making noise, and you're
you're
trying to
making
watch
no
a movie that you paid God knows how much for with your whole family
right.
there, and it's New Year's
So
Day. You want to have a good time.
yeah, want to have a good time. So the next thing I know, he was like, "Who you talking?" And the next thing I know, he started getting loud and everything. And then next thing, Nancy Ryan and I are standing in front of him now, and he's cursing at
So
us.
he's still sitting in the
Telling,
chair,
he's still sitting in the chair,
and
and
you
he's
three
telling us
are
what to do with ourselves, right? And he's cursing at us, and he's like, "Fight me! Come on, fight me!" He wants to have a fight.
he wants to
I
fight
just want
you.
him to shut the hell up. But now I'm gonna leave anyway. So he's like, "Fight me, come on, fight me." And he
What
sees my
goes through your
son.
mind? What goes through
My
your
son
mind when
is a
somebody?
big dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what I want to fight. That Happy New Year's, my friend. So
When was the last time someone challenged you to a fist fight?
I don't even remember. I can't even
So
remember
you
that.
get challenged
So,
to a fight. What goes? I know you got your big son. Your son is a big dude. He's what 6'5"?
yeah,
He's a
he's like 6'3". Yeah,
6'3".
six
He's a
three,
big
300.
menacing dude.
He
Yeah,
looks like a linebacker.
yeah. He's yeah. You're not going to want to mess with him.
And
But
this
before he
man,
got in the way,
obviously,
yeah, this guy wants to fight you. Like you're what 60? You just turned like 65, right?
I'm 67.
67 years old.
I'm 67, but Ryan thinks that he wants to fight with Ryan. And I would like to think that this wasn't a racial thing. I would like to think that the alcohol, maybe he was drinking all day. And I was a bartender. I know you get those, beer muscles, they call
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and he was with a very attractive woman. She was
Right.
hot, so maybe he wanted to impress her.
What was
But
she doing when
yeah,
all this
once
was?
we find, she was on his side. She said that. I told you there was a time when he walked out, and Nancy said, "Get off." She says he only told me to get off the phone when he wasn't around. No, we
Uh,
wanted, but yeah, but so I think I would like to think the alcohol. I would. So now he's cursing at us. He actually pushed my wife, who's 70, and
how
she's
did he
got
push
some
her?
back problems.
He stood
Because
up.
he wanted to have a fight, and I just wanted him to shut up.
So
So
Nancy
anyway,
is around the same age as you. We won't say her age, but she's an older woman, and this guy, and she, like you said, she had surgery and back issues and all kinds of stuff.
yeah,
This guy, he stood up and pushed her.
he's sitting down. He pushed him. Still, he
Wow.
never got up. He never stood up.
Right.
But he's sitting down. So now there's a woman in the front row who was sitting in front of him the whole time, and I didn't
So
never saw her
not the
because she's a little
front row, but a row ahead of you.
the row in front of him. Yeah,
Yeah.
in front
Okay.
of us,
Because you're
the
at the
row in front
end.
of
Yeah.
us,
Right.
and
Okay.
she was a very short woman, so I never saw her. Right, and her seat was in directly in front of his seat, and she pops up and points at him and says, "You've been rude and nasty the whole during this whole movie." And she starts yelling, and she's got. So I thank her. I'm like, "Thank you." And then all of a sudden it got out of hand that everybody in the theater started yelling at that couple,
Wow.
and he was like, getting all indignant and everything. That you're all against me, and Nancy and I were like, we're not going to fight you. We're going to go get security. So we went out, the three of us, to
Right.
get security. So during that, they shut the movie off. I caused a big right. They shut the movie
They
off
shut the movie before it ended.
before it was in mid action scene too.
Wow.
Big action scene, mid action
Wow.
scene. The lights are up. Everybody's yelling at that couple to shut up because they want to
What
watch a
the?
movie. That little woman in the front says, "I'm here with my kids,
Right.
and you've been nasty, you've been rude, and you've been making noise the whole time." And then other people were starting to yell. That couple was ruining it for even the people in the front.
Right.
So then we went out. We found out there was no security. There was three kids. Maybe the adults were all hung over from the night before. I don't know.
Oh,
But
man.
if you serve alcohol in a movie theater, you better have some kind of security.
That's what I
You
was going
better
to
have a
say. If you
bouncer.
ever serve alcohol, first of all, alcohol at a movie theater is a nice idea because, like, for adults who could handle it, it's nice to sit down
Right.
with a drink and watch a movie and, and just feel great. But the downside is when you get people who become obnoxious with alcohol or become idiots, instant asshole, just had alcohol, that whole
Right.
thing. Then you got obnoxious people in the movie theater that are going to ruin it for everyone.
And then because this guy felt that we were all attacking him, he starts to record us. And he's recording because we're after him because he's black. Because I'm black. You're all attacking me because I'm black. And that is the furthest from my mind. I don't want to be one of these people who, like, here's the thing I see with some white people want to, they talk to their black friends and they want to talk about, oh yeah, like I listen to Billie Holiday and nobody gives a shit.
Yeah,
I'm not a
yeah, yeah,
racist
yeah.
because
I'm not a racist
I'm
because
not a racist because my favorite movie is Black Panther. I have a poster of Jackie Robinson in my room. Nobody
right,
gives a
right,
shit. All right.
right.
White people, knock it off. Just treat people the way you want to be treated.
Exactly.
We should be beyond that. I grew up I was born in 1955.
Right,
So the civil rights started in the 60s. So I was like 10 years old, 8 to 10 years old.
right.
And I
Yeah,
had asked my father that time because of what is civil rights? What is it? And my father told me when all people cut themselves, they bleed red. We all bleed the same.
that's
We're
right.
all the same, and we all want to be treated the same. And that was the best way to explain it
Did
to
you ever
me,
get
So
into? Did you ever get in any scuffles with Corn Pop by any chance?
with who?
Corn Pop. You don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I have no
Okay,
idea.
okay, I'll tell you later. Never mind.
Okay, all right.
But
I don't know what. All right, but
all right, so
so,
let's get
so
back to the
now
story.
he's
So
yeah, okay.
he's filming you now.
He's filming everybody. He's
Okay.
filming everyone. So and he's cursing. He's cursing up a storm. So to me, being a boy, so I go up to the camera and I go right up and I said, if you had come in on time, you would have seen the trailer that told you to get off your phone, shut your phone off, and don't ruin the movie for everybody else, which is exactly what you're doing. I told
Not
him.
only
I
that,
walked
they
away.
turned the movie
So
off. They
they
shut the
shut the
movie off. So
they
when they
shut
shut
the movie off.
now, what did all the rest of the people inside the theater do when they shut it
They
off? Did they all leave, or did they all start
no, well,
watching you?
they started. They some people got up. Some people still wanted. That little woman came over to him, and he had the camera, and she said, "Stop cursing in front of my kids."
All
And
right.
he said, "F your kids."
Oh
So
wow,
she smacked that phone out of his hand. She was
wow, yeah,
and knocked the phone. She got in trouble. So
for hitting
anyway,
him.
what
But
happened was half the theater walks out.
imagine what. Just imagine for a second. You invest 3 hours into watching this movie, or 2.5 hours, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden the movie shuts off. And you now, if you want to watch the rest of it, you have to start over again because I.
No, they picked it up from there. They picked it up
Oh, they
from
started it back up
because
again.
I told you there was a shot on the screen. So they just
So it's
turned the
paused in full
lights down.
motion, like
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. And
So
a
while
guy,
all this is going on, the movie's paused. Okay.
the movie's paused and the lights
Wow.
are up. So and he's filming. So security, there were three kids. They didn't know what to do, so they called the police. And the police, seven police officers arrived. When they arrived, a lot of people got up and left, asked for a ticket, asked for a rain check, another ticket to return. And they gladly gave that. Nancy filled out a report that the guy pushed her. The poor woman that knocked the phone out of his hand was asked to leave because you're not allowed to touch anybody. So
Even
she
though
was
he
like,
was invading her
I'm sorry.
privacy by filming her in the first place, and then he said something derogatory about her children.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that didn't, and that's what she said.
Right.
That's what she said. Look, they're making me live, but you can't touch somebody. So I agree with. So half the theater left, including a bunch of young African American children. I say, black kids, like who were, let's say, they were teenagers and maybe a couple in their 20s, and they left because they wanted no part of this racist thing. And the
Right.
one guy
Right.
said to us, the one guy said, no, we want no trouble. We're leaving. We'll come back. And he said, I got a phone call. He said, I went out to the lobby. I left the theater and went out to the lobby. But everybody there, and these were people sitting all over in the theater, were all saying this had nothing to do with race. It had to do with rudeness, with consideration,
Right.
courtesy, common courtesy. That's what it had to do with. And uh, I'd say at least half the theater left. And the police said there was nothing they can do about it because they didn't see it. They didn't win. And they said it was really up to the theater. The theater, the management.
Right.
Management should
Right.
have done something, but they didn't. They let everybody leave. They gave them tickets, and this person and this couple stayed and watched the rest of the movie. And to me, I'm like, you don't even know what's going on.
Did you stay also, or did you leave?
We left.
Okay. So, but they
We left
stayed,
too.
and they stayed because they're like, yo, we got to see the ending.
Well, maybe, okay, maybe I'm just thought of this now. Maybe they saw the movie already. So maybe that's why they were so rude.
It's
Maybe it didn't,
possible.
maybe they saw it already and just wanted to see it again.
There's some people
And
though
this,
that just don't like. It's not about the movie for them. I don't know what it is. I mean, look, every time I've gone to the theater the last couple of years, I go to the theater out here. It's nice out east. It's got the nice comfortable chairs and everything. I prefer that one,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I
that's
like
what
to
we
sit.
had, right?
Yeah, and I like to sit in the back also because, like you feel like that's more private. But
Right.
I run into the same thing. There's always somebody obnoxious at these theaters. It makes me not want to go anymore. Like, I think I don't know what the solution would be. Um, but I would like it to be, you know, people have to have, you know, like I think people should get thrown out if they're loud or obnoxious immediately. I think there needs to almost be a bouncer sort of just
Yeah,
sitting in the theater.
security,
Yeah,
a
just
real security
to
person.
maintain that, because I don't know how many times I've almost gotten the fisticuffs over somebody talking too loud, kicking my chair, you know, being obnoxious, whatever it is. It's just not a good environment. It makes you not want to go to the theater anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it seems like since after COVID that people are out of their houses again because before COVID, the problem was now people have these home entertainment centers.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they have these home entertainment, home movie theaters so they could act any way they want and watch, watching a game, watching something. They can be rude and because they're
Right.
home.
Right. Right.
And now they bring that to them to the theater. And I guess some people just don't have manners of being in a crowd and
It's
have
common courtesy. Yeah, it's just courtesy
yeah,
for
but
others, and
people lost that.
they lost that.
And before the COVID, I thought there was some people who were bad. Now it seems like after COVID, some people are worse,
So
right?
yeah, it's true, and it's maybe it has something to do with that vaccine. No, I'm just kidding. No, what I want to
Yeah.
say is,
I should have asked, are you vaccinated? But
on the ride home now, did Nancy and Ryan blame you, or were they proud of you?
Ryan
Or
didn't blame me. He didn't blame me, but he felt that I could have handled it a little different. That I could have, instead of saying what I said, but you know me, I'm Benny Rizzuti. I'm not just going to say, sir, could you please stop?
and I know
I'm going to say,
your
why,
catchphrase,
why bother? Yeah.
and
My
what's your catch?
catchphrase, I can't win. Yeah. I can't win because so, and then Nancy said, well, the seats on the side of us, on the other side, were empty. Why didn't you move over there? And I'm like, no, he was still annoying me. I
Right,
was still being annoyed by them. And
and
so if I'm over there and then I could hear, I could just see if I moved over there, Nancy'd be like, oh, great. Now I'm next to them,
right, yeah, yeah, you can't win.
right? So
You
I
literally
can't
can't
win. I
win.
couldn't win that. And Ryan was like, what you did. And I told him, I said, in all honesty, I felt you two were saying stuff. If I didn't say anything, the ride home would have been, how come you didn't open your mouth? Why are you such a wimp?
You can't win. That's
I didn't want
why,
to fight.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to fight with the guy. I never intended to fight with him, but it, like I said, I think the alcohol. I would like to think that it was the alcohol
What were they
because
drinking? Beers, or do they have
oh
like
no,
mixed
they were
drinks?
drinking liquor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So they were
it's a
probably,
regular bar. It's not just beer and wine. They're
yeah,
serving
yeah,
regular. And
yeah.
there are movie theaters uh, that have retired police officers or off-duty police officers that are security can handle something like that. I
Right.
feel that if you're serving alcohol, you should be able to. You should have a security. You should say, you should check on the people that are drinking.
They
Really,
should,
I don't
and they
see why
should.
you have to
Yeah.
have alcohol in a movie theater
I don't
anyway. I'm
think it's a
sorry.
good idea, and you know, it probably makes them a lot of money, those theaters, because God knows these theaters are struggling right now because no, like you said, people watching movies at home these days. There's so
Yeah,
many alternatives of things to do. So they have to draw somehow. So like, hey, come on, we have comfortable chairs, we have food, we have drinks now, you know, and they serve real food now too. Like, you know,
yeah, and they'll deliver it to you. Some
yeah,
theaters will actually deliver. You can order the food, and they'll on an app, and they'll deliver it, bring it over to your seat.
yeah, yeah.
So you don't even have to get up and get it.
But now the big question is, have you seen Avatar yet?
Yes, I went back a week later,
The
but
same
only for
theater?
my what? No, different theater, and not the lounge chair seats, just the rocking chair one. I was okay with it. Went to a different theater, and it was fine. There was your usual people with a little bit of chatter, but then they stop. You
Right,
know,
right, right,
so there was a little of that, but I was solo, so I'm like I've been solo where there's noisy people and just get up and leave.
right,
And
right.
maybe I should have said that, but it was a pretty packed theater.
It's hard when it's those type of theaters because they're assigned seats. You buy the ticket
Yeah,
for that seat, so it's hard to move around if like because you could that person that might be somebody. Hey, this is my seat. This is my ticket.
right. Yeah,
But
with that.
but no, I think it's good. What did you think of the movie? Was it worth it?
Yeah, it was worth it. I enjoyed the movie. I did. I did a review on Facebook of the movie. My review was that I felt he could have trimmed a half hour off of it. He could have made it a half hour shorter, and I didn't need to relive the sinking of the Titanic. You know what I mean? Because it's in water. So it's in water. James Cameron, he's got to sink something.
Right.
Every movie he makes that's in water. The other
He
one,
loves,
the
yeah,
Abyss, the Abyss.
yeah.
He had to
He
sink
makes
something in
he
the
loves
Abyss. Yeah,
water. That guy. That's a
he
good
loves
point.
water, and he sink. So he sunk the Titanic. He had to sink something in the way of water, and I'm like, all right, but it didn't have to be that long. I
But
thought the acting was very good. Yeah, and I'll say this: there's so much motion capture that it almost reminded me of a video game at the end.
right, yeah,
The
yeah,
last
yeah.
half hour was like I was watching a video game more than a movie.
Right, yeah. Because it's all fake. It's all
Yeah,
animated
it's all
and
that
like
motion capture.
yeah,
There's not one.
yeah.
So, and when you watch video games, the people have like emotion and stuff on them, but because it's motion capture, they don't really you
Right,
know,
right.
it's it's animated. So that's what it looked like, an animated video game at the end. But overall I enjoyed it. There's going to be another one. I think in 2 years, next year or two, that's already done. It's in post production.
Well,
So
yeah, I'm, sorry that your year kicked off the way it did, but I think you recovered your year last week when you rocked the stage over there
thank you.
at
Oh, thank you
Governor's.
so
Yeah,
much. Yeah, I think I did too.
yeah.
But
Good times.
thank
So
you. Thanks. My co-host of the Gagoot Show did not condone us doing this Donversations because I think she's afraid I was going to get canceled.
I don't think you're gonna get canceled. I think yeah, you're just telling the story of what happened. There's nothing crazy going on. It's I just think if people make noise in a theater, that's cut and dry. It doesn't matter who it was or what it
Right.
was, or if there's
And
anything, you pay money to be at a movie theater. You want to enjoy the film.
as I said, half the theater left, and not one person came up to me and said, "You ruined it for everybody." Not one person.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody was blaming that couple.
Well, because it was that couple. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, and 2 hours into it, and like I said, it was a movie. When I went back a week later, there was details I didn't pick up. Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta concentrate in a
yeah.
movie like that. There's like a lot going on. So, but Benny Gaguch Rizzuti, I'm very happy that you saw the movie despite all the adversity he had to face. But
And
tell everybody now you got the show, the Gaguch show. It's on
yeah, the Gagoot
another
Show.
network, and but but
Yeah, but you know what? Me and Gov's podcast, we're pals. I'm always around. If you guys are doing a green room show,
yeah, we
we
love
ask
having you.
me. Yeah,
Your family. You've
yeah.
been
So,
yeah. So
and why
you've
can't there's plenty of room for two networks? There's
I
plenty
I
of
I think so. I think we all share the same people.
yeah.
It's very incestuous that way. So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But good congratulations on the show. I think it's going really good over there. I like what you and Jen are doing. And
Thanks.
I'm so happy that you're back on stage performing again. So tell people where they could find and follow you and all that fun stuff,
You
Benny.
can find me on Facebook, Benny Rizzuti on Facebook. Uh, we also have a Gagoot Show Facebook page. I think there's Instagram stuff, but I don't know how to do that. I had trouble Zooming before. Don had to help me. I had trouble getting on Zoom.
So
So,
it's
but yeah,
Gagoot
you can
Show.
find me on
Yeah.
Facebook. The Gagoot Show is also, if you look up the Gagoot Show on YouTube, where all of a sudden this past week we're getting a lot of YouTube views on. We have the new show is we have 10 episodes, so Dawn is in 2 of them.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
And it was an honor.
so
I was on the first
yeah,
one, and I was on
yeah,
show number 9, I believe. Yeah.
yeah, right. Show number 9,
So I'm very, very
and then
stoked to be part of that with you, as
thank you,
always. Yeah, man.
thanks. Yeah, no, and I'm very happy to be back doing it with. I have an awesome co-host. Jen Snortland is my co-host. We have her friend Claire, who is like our sidekick, and my
Right.
wife Nancy does a lot for the show too.
Yeah,
And
Nancy's
she does it.
always part of it, and Claire.
Yeah,
We got to meet Claire a little bit at the show last week.
right.
You got a great team, great group of people, Benny. So God bless you, my
Thank,
friend. And
oh,
what's the
thank you,
next
buddy,
movie you
and
gonna
best of
see?
luck.
You gonna see another movie anytime soon?
Yes, yeah, I am. I may go see Cocaine Bear is coming out soon.
Hey, all right, go
I
see
may go
Cocaine
see
Bear.
Cocaine Bear, and I don't think anyone wants to go with me. Maybe Ryan might, but Cocaine Bear, and I think there's a couple other movies coming out. Oh, the big summer movies are going to be coming out in another month or so.
Well, let's go to a place, get liquored up, and
Indiana
enjoy the movie.
Jones. I'm going to go see Indiana Jones.
Go see it, get liquored up, man, and go see it.
Yeah, that's it. They should. You know what? Instead of liquor, why don't you just now it's legal serve edibles?
Everybody
This
needs to be
way they'll be
mellow.
peaceful too. You're mellow. Like, there's this saying that if you put 5 people in a room with alcohol, they'll start a fight. If you put those same 5 people in a room with marijuana, they'll start a band.
That's great.
Right?
And on that note, Benny Gaguch Rizzuti, everybody, we love you, man.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you for having me.